switched from playing a support to a jungle, and then people figure out he's actually really good, and one of his best champions in the jungle is in fact Lee Sin. And we could actually put that top lane, although I don't think Hotshot plays a lot of Lee Sin up there, so most likely going to be that jungle pick, but could be run mid, although once again I haven't really seen a whole lot of Big Fat LP playing Lee Sin mid, so maybe a little bit of a hidden strategy you could see for the first time here today, but most likely going to be in the jungle.
Yeah, I talked to a couple of people about this when you know they announced that change, and I'm gonna say what I said to them. It's the reason one of the reasons he's able to do so well is because support is all about mitigating risk and mitigating damage, and you know, finding the smart way to save your team, to save your carries. The fact that Chaucer is just so good at, you know, reducing all of that risk and, you know, finding the exact perfect play makes him a great jungler, because he has to be aware of the entire map. He has to assess all the different lanes. Can I leave this lane alone for this amount of time? Do I need to go help this lane sooner rather than later? Is it safe enough for me to go in and invade their jungle? So, you know, all the skills he's built up as a support definitely help him a lot in the jungle. And we see a Lulu and Vayne pick up for the bot lane of CLG. Meanwhile, they'll be up against, most likely, a Zyra Ezreal down in bot lane for Curse.
Yeah, and I think that Zyra's support is something that we've seen a lot out of Elements. It's one of the best Zyra supports in North America, and it's been one of the strongest supports that he's fielded, along with a Blitzcrank. And without a Blitzcrank ban, I'm really surprised that Curse didn't pick that up. They love running Blitzcrank strategies, but it looks like actually could be a mid Zyra now that they're thinking about picking up that Sona pickup, and I don't think that'd be a horrible thing, because I mean Sona Ezreal's still a ridiculously strong bot lane, even without the attack speed slow on Ezreal. And I think it will be a Sona pickup. So yeah, that's gonna be a mid lane Zyra out of NY Jackie. So Night Jackie, I'm gonna mispronounce that all the time because I think that's it's actually supposed to be New York. But regardless of whether or not that is, I think I'll probably just call him Jackie. And now this leaves us up to the last two picks here for CLG and A. And let's see, what else do they have open? They could pick up their mid and then also top laner, assuming Lee Sin is going to be played in the jungle. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Go ahead and choose for those two roles, because you could have a little bit of versatility here.
Yeah, we could see Hotshot pick up Cho'Gath. Wouldn't be a bad call in this situation. I don't know about Nidalee. I mean, they haven't. Elements still has to pick up the top laner for Curse, so I don't know. A Nidalee can be countered pretty easily. A Cho'Gath would have an alright stay, and there's the Cho'Gath.
And there we go. So we're going to see Hotshot's infamous Cho'Gath. I say infamous because he either just really well crushes lane and carries super hard, or also has some difficulties getting caught out with that. I remember a couple of key games where that was kind of an issue. But with teleport, he's going to be a little bit more mobile and probably will be running that up there in the top lane. And an Anivia pickup going to be the choice versus this Zyra, as almost as big a zone, but just so strong at clearing out waves and a really just strong AP pickup. Last pickup of the game is going to be looking towards Voyboy, and he is going to grab at Jace. And how did Jace make it all the way through to the last pick of the game? He's first picked in a lot of situations, although maybe that's just a testament to some of the nerfs that have been going down. I don't know about that, but it does look like that will be the final pickup, or could be Rengar, both of whom made it through. And what has happened to this game that Jace and Rengar are both still available as the last pick in the game?
I mean, Riot put them up on the nerfing block and chop their knees out from under them. I mean, the champions got serious nerfs to what made them devastating, and I was really hoping you'd pick up Aurelia, because Aurelia Cho'Gath really goes in the favor of Aurelia. It's one of the better things to beat up a Cho'Gath with, because once you engage on him, you pop Heat style and hit 2 basic attacks. Cho'Gath's like, okay, you just juked my Rupture, and then my Silence just hurts you, and now you're still hitting me with true damage. What do I do now?
Yeah, that's a really rough question to ask, especially since the Rupture from Cho'Gath is really strong engagement. It's got not only the disable from the knockup, but also a slow that follows. It's like a 50% slow, so it's really, really rough to run away from afterwards. So it really helps you set up ganks in the top lane, as well as be that initiate that your team needs a little bit later on for those fights. And we're actually going to get a chance to see Double Lift's Vayne. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so awesome just because of how excited I am. You don't see Vayne a lot. You actually saw her a lot over the weekend. The 5 move speed buff that they actually gave her is a lot more significant than you would think. Every single nerf to Vayne, and I think there were 4 or 5 in a row, hit her move speed in some way, and then giving her some of it back is actually really important. So it's going to be a Vayne Lulu lane up against an Ezreal Sona. Ezreal Sona widely purported to be one of the strongest bottom lanes in the competitive scene today. And now that we are actually into the game, these are the picks, the champions, and the players. This is exactly where we're going to see them. I gotta ask you, Lauwin, how are you seeing this going? I mean, I gotta side a little bit more towards CLG in this lineup, but really strong champion picks all the way around.
I'm a little. I don't want to say I'm gonna go completely against you. I kind of am favoring Curse just a little bit because they picked up Aurelia to deal with the Cho'Gath, and if that spirals out of control, the way Voyboy might be able to make it, we saw in the last game, although Hotshot, CLG still won, Hotshot really lost to that Aurelia. She really beat up on his Nidalee, so that could be kind of a problem for them. Bot lane, I kind of like the Vayne Lulu. I mean, double lifts Vayne. He's the king of micro. He just makes insane things happen, and we saw him do the same thing on Ezreal. He was just juking and continuously moving and microed every single step of his just absolute domination of bot lane. But yeah, I guess I think I'll give it over to CLG. I like the double lift Vayne far too much, and it'll do very, very well against pretty much everything on their side if Lulu can peel for him properly.
Yeah, and so there's actually a lot coming out here that's interesting. Not only the double of Vayne and Hotshot on Cho'Gath, one of his strongest top laners, but and you get like a Voyboy running Aurelia, one of the scariest Aurelias out there, at least right now. Everybody knows about Wicked's Aurelia, but Voyboy actually one of the first people to pick her up and get super good with her, along of course with Wicked, and he's really strong not only top lane, not only on that champion, but Aurelia does really well against Cho'Gath, provided you can land Rupture. It's kind of all or nothing. If you get hit by those Ruptures early on, Cho'Gath can just nuke you down with the autos, and then also the noms if he wants to chase you down. But Voyboy, if he gets enough attack speed up, is really going to be able to chunk through all the HP that Cho'Gath has. So one of the options that Cho'Gath has against Aurelia is building a Frozen Heart as part of his tanky build, because he scales so well with cooldowns, allowing him to get more feast stacks up more often. But and then that really hurts Voyboy because obviously Aurelia scales off of attack speed. But another interesting matchup is going to be this mid lane. I'm not sure if it's just going to be that sort of super farm out lane where no minions ever exist and you just kind of sit there or roam to other lanes. But it's really going to be interesting to see how both Chalister and St. Vicious can sort of impact some of the more neutral lanes that we have here.
Yeah, mid lane, that's a pretty even matchup. Neither one of them has huge advantage. Zyra is definitely scarier, pre-6. Anivia doesn't really have that much she can do pre-6 other than try and farm her way back and hope that Chalister can come in and build some helpful early advantage. Egg is just, it's a very good thing to burn in the first 3 minutes. I mean, yeah, of course you don't want to die and you don't want to get brought down that low, but if you want to go all in on Anivia and you can get your jungler down there, do it in the first few minutes before the enemy hits 6, because at that point, that's when Anivia is at her weakest. You can, take a couple more risks defensively or offensively, and you can put her in a few more bad situations because they don't have that many spells to kill you with.
And to be honest, the DPS is so high coming out from Curse that I feel like even if they do get that egg on Anivia, they're going to be able to take it down extremely fast. So it's going to be a Saint Vicious Dr. Mundo in the jungle, Nijacking mid on Zyra, Cop and Elements bottom lane as Pulsefire Ezreal and Arcade Zona with Infiltrator Aurelia. I love that skin so much. A lot of people like to go with the Frozen one, but I got to give it
I'm a fan of the Frozen.
All right, well, you know what? I guess we don't need M Twist here to ask you any questions, but we got Team Spirit Anivia, not a skin you see a lot coming out for Big Fat LP, regular scumbag Loco Doco, no skin for him, but we're into the game, so if you guys are just now joining us, thanks for tuning in. I am Rapid, with me is Lauwin. We're covering the NESL's coverage of the IEM Cologne Qualifiers. This is the grand finals between CLG North America. They are your blue team on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. They're going up against Team Curse from the USA. They are here on the upper right side of your screen in the red. They will be running Voyboy here as their top lane, going up against Hotshot. I am pretty excited to see how that matchup goes, Lauwin.
Yeah, I mean, I've made my statement that I think that I think Hotshot's gonna have trouble. It's Aurelia. She beats on Cho'Gath. She just does.
And it's going to be really exciting to see not only that's top lane matchup as a whole, but also how they decide to go ahead and handle that as far as the jungle pressure is concerned. Because top lane so snowbally, at least now in this current iteration of the game, and if you get enough ganks up there, and if you can get yourself far enough ahead, it just really makes it hard to lane up there. And I think that's well, it's Saint Vicious ganking a top lane that it's Saint Vicious and Voyboy against the lane with Hotshot in it. So you gotta know that's going to be a little bit rough for him.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of animosity there. There might be a couple of, let's camp Hotshot for a few minutes, but nonetheless, Voyboy sticking around his team's red buff, and neither team wanting to invade, pretty much covering every buff. Just wants a lot of vision. The early ward was placed down by Locodoco. He threw that down up in top lane, so they don't want to let Mundo get the early gank off onto Hotshot.
And I think the early ganks are what hurt top lane so much. It's when you are weakest as a top laner, and so if you can get those kills taken out and even like shove waves of experience and gold into their turret, it really sets them far behind. See Elements and Cop actually taking down the wolves as a little bit of a counter to taking double golems, which we did see there. It looks like with a little bit of extra assistance from Locodoco on that red buff. Is Chester going to go smiteless on this? Yeah, it actually does look like he is saving smite after getting a lot of help from Locodoco, so he will still have that available. Looking to actually use that on his own blue buff, not going for any sort of aggressive counter jungling just yet.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Sin's counter jungle ability kind of went out the window a while ago. He's it's less you go in to go steal buffs and more you go in to find them and kill them, because Lee Sin's early dueling power is very strong. And up in top lane, I think we're about to see a gank as Aurelia dives in onto Cho'Gath, and Vicious is up there. He actually snuck up through the top of the brush. Hotshot taking a ton of damage. The Ignite is down. One last basic attack. Flash forward from both of them.
Flash.
And Chaucer comes in for the save.
Hotshot, oh my goodness, how lucky are you? There's actually a cleaver landed on to Chaucer. They're going to follow this up, but Saint Vicious not wanting to go too deep, as they do see Big Fat LP leave lane, so he's going to be able to come up there and at least have some sort of a presence there in the area, so that's going to cause Saint Vicious to back on out of there. But how dead was Hotshot in that situation? Holy cow, if he had not flashed it at the exact same instant that Voyboy flashed, he would have gone down there. All it took was one auto, and you can't auto through flash. It does not disjoint that if you get it off right after the second half of the auto attack goes off, so it would have been rough, but perfect flash out from Hotshot. Excellent micro. I'm actually really impressed to see that after, I guess, he's a little bit new back up there to that lane, but he's been playing it for a while and actually doing really good at that position, able to avoid the first gank of the game, which, like I said, was the most deadly, and now you actually may see the gank pressure force down bottom lane. That's something we see out of a lot of Southeast Asian teams and Korean teams. They recognize top is weak early. If you can snowball that's great, but bottom lane is what you really have to work on, and already Doublelift actually putting out a lot of damage, splitting up between Cop and Elements. Not really the greatest, because, I mean, Sona just heals them both up, so Hotshot actually freezing the wave right in front of his turret. That makes it really rough for Aurelia, who's going to have to go above and beyond the Call of Duty, as now Chaucer coming up all the way around from the back, and with no wards, this could be a really effective gank.
It looks like Chaucer going to start his movement in there. Is he going to land anything? He's going to land the slow onto Voyboy. The Rupture isn't going to hit Voyboy because he just jukes around it. And now, let's see, is he going to finish the kill? One more basic attack and they'll do it, and Hotshot will pick up the first blood. Chaucer tanking the tower out for him.
Yeah, and he actually gives the kill over to Hotshot, not taking it for himself, and that's a really good job. Meanwhile, bottom lane, kill picked up onto Sona.
It looks like Doublelift is doing, he's playing super aggressive and just Micromaster Doublelift.
Oh my goodness. And actually, Micromaster Voyboy, I don't know if you saw him when he was right there in the bend. He just held still perfectly, dodged the Rupture attempt from Hotshot, but that was all the time they needed to pick up as much damage as they needed to pick up the kill. So a little bit unfortunate there for Voyboy. He goes down to the new top lane jungle combo of a Hotshot and Chaucer. So it's already a little bit of an advantage. A 2-0 lead here, but only 700 gold lead already for CLG. Not overwhelming by any means. There's actually NY Jackie stealing away this Wraith camp, as he knows there's a lot of focus from Chaucer top lane, so probably going to be okay to do that. He actually has a blue buff of his own, and that's really going to help him here in this mid lane versus a Big Fat LP. Take
a look at Lee Sin's build. He's picked up 2 longswords, so early Brutalizer out of Chaucer.
Yeah, I can't imagine we'll be seeing anything other than that. He's just going for super, super hardcore damage. He could actually turn that into like a Wriggles Phage kind of thing.
In mid lane, he's going to dive on the Zyra, forces out the flash. Now Jackie gonna get away from that.
But now there is a ward in mid, and that's actually pretty good for Big Fat, because as he's going to be in Ivia, he's going to be shoving these waves. There may not be minions for CLG in that wave. He's going to be able to reveal if anybody walks through that, but it's also going to give Chauster a little bit of an interesting gank path through there. Tried to get a little bit of a steal there onto the Raze, but unable to make that quite as effective. You see Voyboy dropping a ward, and Chauster avoiding that for now. He might queue into the tri-bush, but he knows it's warded, so he's going to wait for the pink ward in the top bush to be dropped by a hot shot. Kills off the ward. Now Chauster completely free to continue ravaging this top lane.
And yeah, he's been sticking around there for a while. They've actually put down 2 wards, so want to keep Hotshot as safe as possible. And down in bot lane, Doublelift did a really good job of stalling out the wave. He pulled ahead just a little bit in CS, and I think he's just going to go continue to be really aggressive as Locodoco lands a ton of damage onto elements.
Yeah, and already you can see this bottom lane starting to go in favor of the Doublelift Locodoco combo. I mean, Vayne, traditionally very weak early on, so able to get a kill early in the laning phase. Still really great. Chauster actually queuing over the wall, hitting a Zyra plant, so GG. You see NY Jackie farmed that up a lot over the course of this game. And
really down in bot lane, I think they're about to get baited because St. Vicious is there.
Yeah, they were just trying to trade that, and really great job by Locodoco not sort of like committing to that overly, but now he is level 6. Locodoco going to hit level 6 in the near future, and oh, a little bit of damage placed over the wall by Big Fat onto Jackie, but St. Vicious actually forced to back out of bottom lane. Really passive play, even without knowing he was there by Doublelift and Locodoco, so you got to hand it to them for not falling a prey to the gank from St. Vicious.
I think they might have had a ward in the bush. Did they?
Was he seriously standing on that the whole time? I think when they placed the ward in there, then he might have actually just been standing on top of that. I can't tell just because of how huge the model is for Rageborn, but it's not very effective. So St. Vicious wasting that entire time, not getting anything out of it. Hotshot GG with 6 health potions and those ninja tab eyes, so I'm not sure if that's exactly the way to go, but still going to be able to sustain in that top lane for basically forever. Now with Chauster coming up from behind, this could be a rough situation for Voyboy. I think they're going to let Hotshot push the wave enough for a lane gank coming out from Chauster, but even still, oh my goodness, you gotta feel for Voyboy right now. He has, well, basically just boots and 4 potions, so missing the rupture is going to allow Chauster to come in here, still going for the aggression.
Yep, they're going to land the Q, and the ultimate is actually there from Chauster. He's going to knock him into the wall. The feast from Hotshot just took Voyboy down so low, and they pretty much just, executed him full to 0.
And Big Fat actually trying to dodge the snare, just getting hit by the very end of it, but not taking any plant aggros, so he's going to be able to get out of there with a pretty favorable trade versus Jackie, although they both did, basically the same amount of damage. Just minor harassment, just going to continue to farm out that mid lane.
Wow, Locodoco. He loves landing those glitter lances after hitting people with health picks.
Yeah, health picks harassment is just so stupid because you just put it on them, you get free harassed. And that was one of the things when AP Lulu was so popular. You just put health picks on the second wave of minions and you just clear the entire wave in one cast of glitter lance. And fortunately, we have continued our wonderful trait of nerfing Yordles into the ground, something that I can completely sympathize with. But top lane, a Hotshot making it back, going for a Phage? Is he going like
AD Cho'Gath.
Oh my goodness.
Attack speed 80 Cho'Gath.
And this is going to really fall, Irelia is going to fall prey to this, because she walks back into lane with double null magic mantle, and so sure the skills coming out from Cho'Gath are magical, but, or did they deal magic damage, but, I don't know, against the Phage Cho'Gath, that's a little bit of a new build. I haven't quite seen that one, but I imagine as we see a Hotshot back in this top lane, we're going to see a lot of interesting things come out from him.
Yeah, I think I've seen maybe once or twice where you build the Phage and you build so much attack speed that when you're fighting in the lane and clearing minion waves, that you clear the minion wave so fast that it doesn't matter if you're trading because the extra damage is enough, and now they go straight onto Voyboy. The ultimate coming out from Voyboy, but oh my god, the feast damage, and they don't finish the job! A flash away from Voyboy is going to keep him safe. And
Are you
oh, they just
kidding?
miscalculated that damage by inches.
I hear health potions are pretty cool, man. I don't know, but Boy certainly thinks so. Able to make it out of there just barely alive by the skin of his teeth, trying the same dive that they have again, and they're just really completely destroying Boy up here. Even if they don't kill him in situations like that, they still force him out of lane. You're going to look at his CS and see it's 39 to Hotshot's 60, and he's going to push more and more waves of minions into his turret.
Oh, down in bot lane, Doublelift has popped his ultimate. The crescendo does come out, plus the ultimate from Ezreal. Doublelift needs one more basic attack to finish off Sona. He's going to get the kill, but he's going to die because St. Vicious is coming from the side. And he just keeps Lulu there. Loco Doco getting caught and falling to St. Vicious.
Yeah, so the worst of both worlds there in that bottom lane. They traded 1 for 2 and 80 carry Cobb, man. He's still alive, not fat enough to get hit there in that last trade, and is going to be pushed out probably by Chaucer. He's going to go in on this. I'm not sure if he thinks he can just 1v1 that, because there's a lot of kiting that Cobb can do. Gets hit by the resonating strike, so he's going to have to back out of there, and Chaucer is going to farm that wave up, not letting it hit the turret, so at least he's going to make the most out of that XP. But mid lane, like I said, just kind of a farm fest as Jackie continues to farm his wraiths, farm Big Fat LP's wraiths, farm all the minions in the wave. Just not a whole lot of action there. But top lane, man, non-stop action, as now it looks like St. Vicious going to come up to here, at least clear out the wards, at best go for a gank on Hotshot.
Yeah, no, and like I was saying about that Cho'Gath, is if you're fighting the lane, you do enough damage because you're hitting so many basic attacks, and you build things like Wit's End and Ionic Spark, and then a little bit of lifesteal, but you just do so much damage so quickly to the entire minion wave that you're healing because you're killing all the minions, so they're like trying to trade with you, and you're lifestealing and then passive sustaining on Cho'Gath, and you're just so sad because then Cho'Gath will build like, you know, Frozen Heart, which is good on him. And then you're like, oh, well, he's attacking faster than me, he's clearing the way faster than me, he's healing faster than me. What do I do?
And Boy's pretty much locked himself into this Mercury Treads Wit's End kind of build with those double null magic mantles. So there's really a lot of less flexibility coming out from his build. Now you can see a lot of harassment coming in here by Hotshot. He's going to jump onto Boy. Keep battling him even though he's winning or losing because he knows that Chaucer's coming up from behind. I think, here we go.
There's the flash feast going in with the ignite. Is he going to be able to land the Q? He's got the slow and actually dashes forward, but the basic attack from Chaucer finishes the job. And oh, boy. Poor boy.
A lot of excellent dives coming out here, perfectly coordinated, excellent micro, and great just map planning strategy here from CLG. So you're already going to be forced to kind of take a look at their strategy. What are they trying to accomplish? They're putting a lot of pressure top lane as they're just going to try to make Boy a non-factor in these team fights, because ultimately you have to look. I mean, a strategy is not a strategy if it doesn't account for
down in bot lane, St. Vicious is coming through. Cop does land the ult with the crescendo landing onto Doublelift. They can do a lot of damage to him if they can just start to lock him down. He's dashing away, but the mystic shot from Cop is going to finish the job, and now Mundo tries to land a cleaver. Loco Doco with the jukes.
I don't really feel like he would have had to flash out there if he had been able to dodge the cleaver, but a little bit of lack of confidence as far as his ability to dodge those, and just, you know, burn the flash, not a horrible thing in any means, because, hey, when you survive a St. Vicious gank bottom lane, it's something I don't really feel like I could ever accomplish, so, you know, good job there by Loco Doco making it out alive, showing why he is doing a really good job as support so far, but having a rough time down that bottom lane. So essentially you can see the difference in focus. Curse focusing on that bottom lane, whereas the CLG focusing on crushing top lane with their different amounts of jungle pressure. So we're going to see the effectiveness as this plays out into the later stages of the game, which is better. I mean, having a huge Cho'Gath, sure, that's great, and especially since he may be building something crazy like Trinity Force. I don't know about that, but I definitely feel like his Curse's focus may actually be a little bit better, because shutting down Vayne really keeps her from being that super late game monster, although she does already have a Trinity, or not a Trinity Force, a Bloodthirster already completed against Cop, who actually was starting to look towards maybe possibly thinking of a Trinity Force, but picks up the makings of an Infinity Edge, so maybe the damage coming out from Cop going to be a little bit fatter than he is. So looks like Chaucer finishing off his red buff, going to come towards the middle lane, and there's actually the flash wall on St. Vicious.
Yep, they do land the frostbite, and just going to slow down St. Vicious. It's actually the flash frost that finishes the job. Dragon is already gone. Yeah, that was the Oracles too. Dragon's already gone, but they are going to dive Elements if they can find him. And no, they're not going to find Elements, but guess who's still there? Cop is. He's going to try and finish off Lee Sin. Nice jukes through the wall. Needs one more basic attack, and it's actually Elements who finishes the job. Now, Big Fat OP is dueling a little bit with Boy, but that was just perfectly done by Cop. Oh my god. And now diving onto Voidboy, or Voidboy diving onto Big Fat OP. That Lulu ultimate goes through but does not save him. It just brings him down the egg. Hotshot has been exhausted, taking a ton of damage. They're trying to finish off Big Fat OP and Hotshot, and they will. Ezreal and Zyra picking up those kills.
Yeah, that's what happens when one team has, jungler and an AD carry who's caught, because massive damage dished out. And you can see this is really starting to hurt CLG's strategy, because early on they camped Voidboy super hard, and sure, they were able to give him like a minion disadvantage and, you know, push his turret in a little bit and deny him some EXP. He is only level 9, but he was huge in that team fight. He got off a couple of really great stuns, and his equilibrium strike was just massive, getting off 2 stuns in that fight, and then Transcendent Blades going across, I think, almost every single member of CLG in that fight, well, with the exception of Chauster, because you got to realize he died before the fight even happened. And sure, St. Vicious was dead before that happened too. He got picked off. He actually picks up another Oracle, so that's pretty key.
Yeah, he's feeling like he's got the money in his pocket, but even though both junglers were dead, Chaucer died off of a dive. Cop hit him with the ultimate, ignited him, landed Q and W and E, landed everything on him, jumped away, and then Elements came in with a nice power chord Hem of Valor to finish the job. And, you know, that was supposed to be Chaucer Hotshot GG walk in, kill Cop. That was supposed to be, you know, the end of it, and then, you know, they might be able to push a tower off that, or, you know, possibly look, you know, to zone in and take away that blue buff, and they didn't. So Cop just made a huge play.
Yeah, and Cop really...
Oh, down in bot lane. Elements actually has a red buff. They're going to cut him down with the power of that ultimate. And now, oh man, Elements picks up another kill.
Yeah, now Vayne with an early 1-0 advantage. Now it's 2-3 with a Bloodthirster that needs to be stacked. You gotta watch top lane, actually. Voidboy versus Hotshot GG, and Voidboy actually starting to battle him out. Chauster still looking for that Q on NY Jack. He takes a turret hit and then forced it back out there and wants to take out the Zyra plant before he leaves, and will in fact do that. We've had LP a lot of CS just from shoving waves endlessly into Zyra's turret, but she is perfectly content to get in there and shove them right back, and is doing a really good job keeping up there in that mid lane CS. Voidboy versus Hotshot again, battling behind his turret, even now waiting here in this brush, and gotta know somebody's coming, so wisely Hotshot backs on out of there, but looks like 4 mid here for Curse, really trying to put a lot of pressure here on this middle turret.
Yeah, no, Cop threw his ultimate through there. They want to clear the wave, so they walk up and have, you know, their entire minion wave there if they decide to push the tower. Might have just been to slow them down and let Nijaki possibly pick up an engagement, but Hotshot moving back up into top lane, and you know, even though Voidboy has kind of lost a little to Hotshot, it's not like Hotshot's, you know, picking fights and then full to zeroing him.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think anybody looks at Cho'Gath unless it's like AP Cho'Gath for full to zero. It's just a lot of sustained damage, a lot of, well, just plain sustained, and Voidboy actually winning a few of these trades. It does look like double gold per 5s were the second pickups for Hotshot. He's phased into double gold per 5s, guys. That's how you build Cho'Gath these days, I guess. St. Vicious coming up, clearing out wards with his second oracles, and looking for an Aegis as his next item. No Warmogs, no Spirit Visage anywhere in his future for the time being. Losing that early oracles really set him far behind in his build, but he's making really great use of the second one, able to cleaver red buff so he gets it moving all the way around. Could actually give this over to Voidboy, and what's better than Phage? Oh wait, a red buff. So that could actually really help Voidboy out in this top lane.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're giving that to Voidboy, because right now he's picked up his wit's end, so he's not concerned about doing physical damage to Hotshot. He wants to do his true damage to Hotshot. He wants to get that extra magic damage on Hotshot, and red buff will just let him hit attack after attack and fully make use of T10 style. Just get every basic attack in there that he can.
Definitely, and you've started to see as he advances his build, he's picked up his wit's end, so he does have one of the most key items on Irelia, helping her deal just massive amounts of damage, not only just true damage, and oh, Chauster jumping in there, gets snared, but gets the Q off the flashback way under turret. Looks like Chauster gonna kick it, and Nijaki back out. Big Fat LP, however, tanking the turret here, flashes over the wall, gets egged across the wall.
Yeah, but Mundo is there. He's popped his ultimate. He's going to just sit there and land cleaver after shot. And guess who's here? It's Cop. Comes in, picks up the kill onto Big Fat LP. Meanwhile, Doublelist is down, bot lane taking a tower. But I would say that was worth Cop coming up for the trade. And Elements looking for another kill is trying to finish off Loco Doco, forces Chowster to come forward and help him out. And now they can easily push down this mid tower if they want. They have pinged it, and it'll definitely follow the combined forces of Voyboy, Elements, and St. Vicious.
Yeah, so Kurt's actually doing a really good job of pressuring all across the map. There, you know, we can let Vayne have a turret bottom lane. It's not going to be the biggest thing, but actually a hotshot coming in there and pushing Curse off of CLG's middle turret. Really great job there, having an excellent presence around the map. You know, back in the day, it was not uncommon to see the top laner just kind of like stay top and not do anything, but really great roaming from hotshot, able to recognize where he needs to be and then show up in time to save that middle turret. And now a lot of dragon pressure coming back. It's 2043 when they're starting this. Will they be able to finish? I think a hotshot coming in here is going to get zoned there by Nightjackie, and with Voyboy jumping back in, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Dragon goes down, and hotshot will as well.
Yeah, just cut through him, burned him very quickly, and now St. Vicious kind of going forward. Cop Arcane shifts over the wall. The exhaust is on a big fat LP. They might turn this into an engagement, doing a lot of damage to him. The egg has been burned, and did they kill him after the egg? I don't think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Because he flashed over the wall, got egged, and then St. Vicious and Copper right there.
Okay, yeah, Cop picked up that kill. So, Big Fat LP gonna be forced to back. He has no egg. And I think they're gonna give blue buff. Oh, no, Zyra's there. I thought they were about to give blue buff away to Cop, which wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I mean, AD carries with blue buff is something you traditionally do a little bit later on, but it does look like they will go ahead and pass that one off to Nightjackie. It looks like, oh, a ward behind Chowster, way too aggressive. He's going to get stared up, take most of his HP, forces the ult from Loco Doco out, but the turret will go down, so that makes it a 2-1 advantage, in fact, for CLG as far as turrets are concerned.
I know Curse hasn't been able to push one down. They could probably take mid lane pretty quickly, as a few members from CLG aren't really in the vicinity. They're kind of backed up just fast enough for Cop to land 2-3 basic attacks, and down goes mid tower. And I think that there's a little bit of aggression coming in here from Voyboy. Yeah, no, they're going to steal away this blue buff very, very quickly, give that one over to Cop, and possibly look to push top. I mean, bot tower's down, mid tower's down, tops are the only towers left, and you know, this is sort of a mid-game point where Curse really needs to try and find a way to pick a good fight and, you know, try and push Voyboy back into the game with a couple of kills and assists.
Yeah, and I think that Voyboy is doing his very best to get back into this. I mean, sure, he's 1-3, but he does have 130 CS against Hotshot, who's only at 140, so all of that early aggression kind of being nullified just by Voyboy's ability to just have that resilience coming back and things. And sure, Chowster's coming along. He may actually look for a Q on Elements, but doesn't want to get too near Baron. Ward of the Wall from Elements is going to reveal that, well, that's still there, and there's nobody really attempting that quite yet. Always good to have vision
I think
of
they're
it,
about to dive Voyboy up in top lane. Hotshot, oh, he just got stunned. But I think Chowster's going to find Elements. No, he's just sneaking around. Has a red buff and his oracles. So they're going to take top tower very, very quickly. It's one basic attack. Yeah,
basically, and so that's going to give there's 3-2 in turrets as far as CLG's concerned. They're looking to push down maybe the middle turret after that. They've taken every single outer turret, so once your outer turrets are gone, you got to be looking towards a little bit of the later phases of the game. A Frozen Heart is the pickup here for a hot shot on Shogas. So he went Phage, double gold per 5's Frozen Heart, and he actually maxed Scream and Vorpal Spikes, so pretty standard skill order, but definitely interesting to see that Phage come out a little bit earlier on. Just looking for those slows. And really the great thing about having a Phage on Shogath is once you land that slow proc from Phage, it makes it so much easier to land a Rupture. So really great decision there by Hotshot, playing Shogath, champion that he was most well known for along with Nidalee. So there's going to be a Rupture actually landing on St. Vicious. They could actually go in on this, but looks like everybody just going to back out unless there's the
Zyra ultimate, plus the Ezreal ultimate going forward onto Hotshot. They do land the clear, but St. Vicious goes way too far, gets eaten alive. Now Nightjackie taking a ton of damage, double lift now microing around the field. They've exhausted Voyboy. They definitely want to chase him down, but Cop is still in the middle, and Cop is definitely going to fall. Double lift picking up that kill. Now Double lift going to definitely pick up the kill on Voyboy. Triple kill for him, and I think we're about to see a Baron.
No doubt, and with 4 for 1, Hotshot taking one for the team, but also you saw St. Vicious run right into the middle of CLG, and it got taken out completely almost by true damage. You got the third proc coming out from Silver Bolts on double lift, and then the ultimate coming out from Hotshot at the same exact time, just completely destroyed him, full comboed him, and then once he was down, there's nobody to peel for Cop, who just went down shortly thereafter, and then Voyboy couldn't really stay alive much longer. Great job by Elements to get out of there, but that will be the Baron buff going over to CLG.
And so that's going to be some nice items finished. Vayne actually going for this heavy-hitting penetration build. Doesn't even care about Infinity Edge. Has picked up a Last Whisper. So all the armor that Aurelia just built. And actually, that's really the only armor item built. So he's going to be doing true damage all of the time.
Yeah, and I think the damage coming out here is really effective. It's interesting to see you got that on Voyboy, on Hotshot, and Double Lift as well. So there's a lot of that going around for CLG, but also you know you got that from Voyboy, and he's actually going to go a Chain Vest after completing his Mercury Treads, looking for possibly pick up on that Guardian Angel a little bit sooner than finishing off like a Triforce or anything crazy like that. But he does actually have that phase in his inventory, so we could see things go either way. Although it does look like he's going to be picking up that Trinity Force, but after that Vayne triple kill, I definitely don't blame him for picking up that Chain Vest.
And he needs the tank, and he needs to be able to survive the engagement. Saint Vicious, he needs to tank up a little. He needs something slightly bigger. He's working on that Aegis. He picked up a Spear Visage, but I would say he needs a little bit of armor there. Might want to try and force out parts of Aranduin's after he finishes off the Aegis of Legion, because Vayne is just gonna absolutely beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, and Vayne's starting to get to that point. Like, as a Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, as well as a Red Potion just for good measure. Double Lift absolutely huge right now, and even after a little bit of a rough set of ganks down into the bottom lane by St. Vicious, is just really come back from that, and you can really see kind of the undoing of the ganking process towards the middle lane as we progress towards this later phase. Double Lift got ganked a lot, came back from that Voyboy, camped super hard, and now actually doing a really good job. You see Hotshot taking up that turret a little bit too long as he did get stunned out there, or snared by Zyra, so only at about half health, so he's gonna have to at least heal a little bit from that. Only at 4 stacks his ultimate, so he's gonna be trying to get those back up as well. And with Hotshot chunked, I don't actually think CLG is in a very good position to fight, so they should actually just look to kind of either poke things out, hopefully get Hotshot back up there as far as health is concerned. But I don't know, I'd love to see him, see Curse realize this force of fight even now as CLG is underneath their turrets, so could be what Elements is going to look to initiate on as he does get hit by that Rupture.
Alright, there's the Shirelles going in. Chowser instantly gets stunned, takes a ton of damage, got hit by the Ezreal ultimate as well, and I thought we were about to see that engagement, but just instant disengage from Curse. They do not want to fight.
I don't know why they want to fight. They don't play. Really
dude, you're roboting. You've roboted out.
Well, let's see if I can grab that while you cover the action.
Dragon gonna fall. Hotshot finishing that off with a feast stack. And looks like a Quicksilver Sash can be picked up by Double if he's picked up the Negatron Cloak, as well as another one picked up by Hotshot, so might be about to see a Force of Nature, and he might be going just straight tank, because he did get chunked down a little too much tanking those towers. A Infinity Edge finished on Ezreal, looking to go towards his Triforce. Hasn't picked up any extra attack speed, went for the Zeal, or the Sheen over the Zeal. And damage-wise, Zyra has a Void Staff, so wants the extra magic penetration, but Big Fat LP, he's got his Death Cap, he's got his Chalice of Harmony, he's going to do a ton of damage, and might be going towards a Banshee's Veil, has a Sapphire Crystal and a Ruby Crystal. Not exactly sure yet. And are you back? Are you done living in Robot Land? And still living in Robot Land, so gonna have to see if we can get him back in here, and he should be back. You back with me?
I am back, and hopefully no longer in my robot tunnel.
Nope, no robot tunnel.
Awesome. It sucks there anyways. Alright, so what I basically missed at least yelling about is St. Vicious kind of leading the charge out of the Curse base. He's pretty much the tankiest guy on the team. He's going to pop his ultimate. That means Curse is looking for a fight, getting spotted out there by Chaucer's Q, and now way in front of the
he's popped the exhaust on the Loco Doco. Instantly runs right around the wall. Big Fat LP, you got to lay those walls better, buddy.
Well, I mean, I don't even care about that, because you got to see... Here's what should happen for Curse. They have this team coordination thing, and St. Vicious, well, basically 100% of that is he ran into the enemy team, says, you know what, we're going to go for this exhaust.
Double Lift is going to take down Voyboy. He's popped out his ultimate. He's going to land basic attack after basic attack. Needs one more. That last Serval Bolt proc finishes him, and now CLG has the potential to just continue pushing in. A nice Q over the wall onto Nijaki, gonna give them vision. They're gonna take this tower down, just zone out the remaining members of Curse. And in mid lane, Big Fat LP is pushing on his own, but Chaucer actually going to go forward and knock St. Vicious back in, instantly chunked. The crescendo goes out, locking up Hotshot, but Double Lift is there. Needs two more basic attacks to finish off anyone there, so they all flash away from him because he is scary. And I think they might decide to dive in here. The Resonating Strike missing from Chaucer. Now they're switch tanking the tower, trying to finish it. Flash away from Nijaki to get away from the wall that came out. And a nice stun goes down. Double Lift looking for his next fight is chasing down Nijaki, picks up a kill, instantly flashes out. And Chaucer gets finished off with the help of the Zyra passive. And now Double Lift is just going to pick up more kills because he's going to cleanse out of that exhaust. Turns on the Cop, needs another basic attack, knocks away Voyboy to finish the job on Cop. Just needed him to get out of his way, and now he's going to take an inhibitor. I think Double Lift might be a little strong. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, you're roboting. No. Oh, we got to figure out why you're roboting, man. I guess in the meantime, well, figure that out. Double Lift, and the game's actually lagged out. It's not paused. I'm actually just straight lagged. Are you feeling this too?
Yeah, that's actually what's contributing to my robotiness. So I'm not sure if it's a function of the game,
Oh,
Riot
whoa.
servers, or Skype.
I think just an overall lag-tasticness, but we're back.
That's cool. Am I still roboting, or?
Nope, you are no longer roboting.
Alright, you know what? That's pretty cool. And other things that are pretty cool include the Vayne situation here for CLG. Already picked up a QSS, so he's looking for as much micro as possible. Going to be able to get in and out of all of these situations. And even Voyboy is going to jump on him and theoretically try to go for that equilibrium strike to kind of stun him out. But then he QSS's that. And then you realize that he's also running cleanse, so he can cleanse that. Or look for the QSS. Apologies, but I think that we can actually look to see a lot of focus. I mean, here's the problem for Curse. They're going to have to focus Vayne. Vayne has become a thing, and so you're going to need to look for as much control of that as humanly possible. But how can you get past Hotshot and Chaucer? You saw Chaucer making huge plays, kicking people into CLG over and over again. Loco Doco also has his ultimate, the Wild Growth, able to just push everybody off of Double Lift as well. And now that Baron's up, CLG can force this objective. And I really think that if Curse tries to go for this, barring the occasional super steal from St. Vicious that he has been known to pull off before, I don't know about this. Looking really good for CLG as they do have super minions pushing in onto that top lane, and so Curse is going to have to...
Voyboy out, the crescendo goes out, locking up Hotshot. They're going to turn on to Voyboy. Lee Sin goes forward, tries to finish the job, actually gets chunked down, and now it is left to Vayne to finish the job. Fighting down onto St. Vicious, is going to pick up the kill, turns onto Elements. Now he's on a rampage, picks up Nijaki as well, and he's nowhere in the position to finish off for a penta, but they couldn't catch Vayne. They burned everything on Chaucer there. And Nijaki is disconnected. That might be a forfeit because this game is pretty much over. I think Double Lift is just going to decide to do this tutorial style and finish off the towers, but I think we might be about to see GG.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And this is likely to be GG. The inhibitor is going down. They're actually doing this complete tutorial style, finishing off everything that they possibly can. Every inhibitor, every tower, don't want to leave anything up to chance. Down goes the bottom inhibitor, and I don't know whether or not CLG will back out here. And actually, they want to back out. They want to go get Baron and just cement their lead just completely. And I believe that I'll be on my own for the rest of this cast, as it is pretty much over. And Rapid is trying to fix some technical issues. Nijaki finally reconnecting, and CLG having no mercy. There was no pause, and St. Vicious now leaving, so I think we might be about to either see a surrender or a number of members of Curse are just having some serious technical issues. Been happening with the pros a lot today. Take a quick look at items before what is likely to be the final fight ensues. Double Lift is full build. Hotshot has actually gone and picked up a Locket of the Solari along with that Force of Nature I mentioned he'd be picking up before. Chaucer gone for a variation on his build, picked up a little bit of damage with his Brutalizer, but since then has just picked up everything he can to just go in there and tank up as much damage as humanly possible. Cop has now left the game. Nijaki has left the game. I believe we're about to see a surrender. That is everyone from Curse, with the exception of Voyboy, who's still... And there he goes. So probably about to see a surrender vote in just a moment, or all of Curse is having some super technical issue. I'm not exactly sure, and I think CLG will finish the job right about here. Rapid, are you back here with me?
You know,
right as
I'm
we close
back,
things
but
out.
along with a lot of Curse having some reconnection, disconnection issues, and the game lagging a lot. I don't know what's going on in internet land, but it's affecting a little bit of us all.
So there were some technical issues, guys. This wasn't, as much of a forced surrender. They've been having some lag issues over the course of the game. But that is going to be CLG picking up this game. Hot shot, being a scumbag, diving forward, double lift, actually. Wasn't taking the tower and is picking up kills on the enemy spawn pad. And this is going to be GG for CLG. That is the first day of the IEM qualifiers for Cologne. We will be back tomorrow, but don't go away just yet, guys. We got a bunch of events to tell you guys about. And for that, what did you think of the game overall, outside of the technical issues?
Oh man, I was so impressed with CLG. The early gank pressure was really significant for the early part of the game. Just really kind of kept Boy out of it, kept him from making plays, from roaming a lot, really put him behind. But then Saint Vicious coming back with super huge pressure bottom lane, actually killing double lift, I think like 2 or 3 times in a row, really